Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Scientist. Tonight, we drift back home, not to a single place or a familiar room, but to the world beneath your feet, the quiet sphere that carries oceans, forests, storms, mountains, and every rhythm of life. Earth is often described in facts and figures, but when you slow down enough to listen, it becomes something softer, a living, breathing presence wrapped in water and air, turning in silence through the darkness of space. Before we begin, take a moment to let the day fall away from you. If you'd like, close your eyes and let your shoulders loosen, allowing every small piece of tension to slip downward, like leaves floating through a gentle current. Let your breath fall into a pace that feels natural and unforced, and let your thoughts drift to the edges of your mind, becoming distant and quiet, the way clouds thin as they rise into the evening sky. Imagine Earth not as a map or a globe, but as a soft, glowing sphere suspended in space, wrapped in delicate layers of atmosphere that scatter light into gentle blues and warm golds. Picture the slow rotation of continents drifting beneath sunlight, oceans shimmering with quiet motion, and clouds curling gently over the surface like drifting breath. From far away, Earth looks peaceful and balanced, a calm, pale world moving through the universe with serene patience. Even the storms, the winds, and the great shifting of land unfold on timescales so slow and graceful that they begin to resemble the deep rhythms of sleep. Tonight, we will explore the softest, most soothing truths of our planet, the hidden calm in its cycles, the gentle beauty in its landscapes, and the quiet ways it moves, breathes, and changes. So settle into this moment. Let your breath move easily, and allow the world to unfold around you with the quiet grace it has carried for billions of years. Let's begin. Deep within the layers of Earth's atmosphere, light scatters in such a way that the sky becomes a soft, comforting blue. This color is not simply a shade. It is the gentle result of sunlight meeting molecules of air and spreading into all directions. The blue we see is the universe filtered through calmness, a daily reminder that even intense light can be softened into something peaceful when it passes through the right conditions. This tender scattering creates a ceiling of color that feels open, steady, and endlessly calming. Beneath the shifting weather and drifting clouds lies a world in constant slow motion. Tectonic plates, vast slabs of rock beneath the continents and oceans, glide past each other at roughly the speed fingernails grow. Their movement is so gradual, so patient, that entire landscapes change without any sense of urgency. Mountains rise over millions of years, valleys stretch across continents, and new coastlines appear with quiet inevitability. Earth's shape is not static, but gently reshaped by forces that understand time differently from us, teaching a kind of patience that feels soothing to imagine. Earth's oceans hold more calm than any human mind could fully grasp. Beneath the surface, waves created by distant winds travel thousands of miles before they dissolve, passing over deep plains where light never reaches. In these dark, silent spaces, water moves with a slow and steady rhythm, flowing around underwater mountains and drifting through vast canyons carved long before humans existed. This deep-sea stillness mirrors the quiet of sleep, undisturbed, unhurried, and endless in its gentle motion. every breath you take contains molecules that have drifted through Earth's atmosphere for millions of years, carried by gentle winds, lifted by sunlight, lowered by nightfall, and shared by countless forms of life. This quiet cycle of air, moving across oceans, forests, deserts, and mountains, links everything on Earth in a soft, invisible thread. Knowing that the air inside you was once part of clouds, storms, or the breath of ancient trees brings a sense of belonging, as though the planet has wrapped you into its own slow rhythm. Earth's rotation creates the cycle of day and night, but the motion is so smooth and constant that you never feel the planet turning beneath you. This steady spin is what brings sunrise and sunset, shifting the light with the same slow grace seen in the sky at dawn or dusk. The colors that appear soft pinks, muted golds, fading blues are the Earth's way of blending one kind of calm into another. Each transition unfolds gently, teaching the mind how to let go of one moment and move into the next without resistance. Far above the surface, thin bands of charged particles form shimmering ribbons of light, known as auroras. These glowing curtains drift, ripple, and fold like enormous sheets of silk suspended across the sky. Their motion is delicate and continuous, shaped by solar winds moving through Earth's magnetic field. Though these displays appear powerful, they unfold with remarkable smoothness, their colors blending like watercolor against the night. Observing them can feel like watching the planet breathe in light and exhale calm. Earth's forests breathe in harmony with the seasons, shifting from rich greens to warm golds, from deep browns to vibrant bursts of life. Each leaf follows a silent cycle, growing, absorbing light, letting go. Across millions of trees, this process creates a vast, gentle pulse that shapes the planet's air. The movement of entire forests happens quietly, without drama, reminding you that even the biggest changes can be soft, rhythmic, and peaceful. Rainfall is one of Earth's gentlest gifts. Drops form high in the sky, gathering silently within clouds before falling in slow, rhythmic patterns that soothe the senses. The sound of rain on leaves, rooftops, or soil creates a natural lullaby, a soft tapping that calms the mind and anchors the body. Each drop carries the memory of oceans, rivers, and mist, completing a cycle that has repeated for billions of years. The rain becomes a whisper from the sky, washing the world clean without force. Deep underground, water slowly winds its way through layers of rock, carving smooth passages and forming hidden caverns filled with still pools. These underground rivers move with patience, shaping stone drop by drop, century by century. The silence in these spaces is profound, broken only by the occasional echo of a falling drop. These places feel timeless, untouched, and serene, an inner world where Earth holds its own quiet breath. The clouds that drift across the sky form through simple ingredients: air, sunlight, and water. Yet they shape themselves into endless patterns. Each cloud is temporary, a momentary sculpture shaped by temperature and wind. They stretch into soft sheets, curl into spirals, or gather in towering shapes that dissolve again with gentle ease. Watching their slow transformations reminds you that nothing in nature is fixed. Everything moves in cycles of creation and release, inviting your mind to drift with the same soft rhythm. High above Earth, the atmosphere forms delicate, invisible layers that cradle the planet like soft blankets. Each layer has its own quiet role, shaping temperature, scattering sunlight, and absorbing harmful rays before they ever reach the ground. These layers merge seamlessly into one another, creating a smooth gradient from warm air near the surface to the cold, thin silence of near space. This gentle stacking of the sky gives Earth its soft blue halo when seen from afar, a glow that feels less like a boundary and more like a peaceful sigh surrounding the world. Earth's magnetic field, though invisible, extends far into space and moves with the calmness of a slow current. It shields the planet from cosmic radiation, guiding energetic particles away in smooth arcs. This protective cocoon drifts and wavers over time, not with sudden shocks, but with gradual, elegant motion. The idea that the planet is wrapped in this natural, shifting shield creates a sense of security, a quiet reminder that Earth itself is always watching over its life, even in ways you cannot see. Deep within the planet's interior lies a churning ocean of molten iron, moving in vast, slow currents that generate the magnetic field. These motions occur at a pace too slow for humans to notice, but their rhythm has persisted for billions of years. The core's silent rotation mirrors the calm, steady ticking of a cosmic clock, one that keeps the planet balanced and stable. Imagining this hidden ocean of liquid metal swirling gently at Earth's center adds mysterious but comforting depth to our world. The continents on Earth drift across its surface with the subtlety of a dream. Slow, continuous, and almost unnoticeable in real time. Over millions of years, these landmasses shift, merge, and separate, forming new coastlines and reshaping old ones. This planetary dance has created mountain ranges, islands, and oceans in quiet, powerful movements that require no rush. The calm pace of continental drift serves as a reminder that immense change can happen without urgency. Earth's deserts, though often imagined as harsh, carry a quiet beauty in their stillness. At night, the sand cools, the winds calm, and the sky opens into an expansive dome of stars, undisturbed by clouds or haze. The silence becomes so complete that even the smallest sound folds softly into the air. The dunes' slow, graceful shapes shift over months and years, sculpted by gentle breezes. There's a peaceful patience in the way deserts move, not frozen, but drifting slowly, like sleeping landscapes. In rainforests, millions of leaves breathe together, releasing moisture into the air that rises and forms clouds. This quiet exchange between trees and sky creates its own weather systems, cycles of rain and mist that return to the forest again and again. The air in these places feels thick with life, yet the overall rhythm is gentle, steady drops of water falling from leaf to leaf, soft breezes weaving through branches, and distant thunder rolling like a slow heartbeat across the canopy. Earth's lakes serve as mirrors for the sky, holding reflections of clouds, stars, and mountains on their calm surfaces. When the wind settles, the water becomes so still that the reflection appears almost more real than the world above. Looking into a quiet lake is like peering into a doorway between earth and sky, a soft merging of two worlds. The stillness of these waters can calm even the most restless thoughts, inviting the mind into a state of clarity and peace. The sound of waves on a shoreline follows patterns guided by the moon and the rotation of the earth. These rhythms repeat endlessly, rising, curling, falling with a consistency that feels like breathing. Even though each wave is unique, the pattern never breaks. The ocean's voice can be powerful, but its quiet moments, gentle swells washing against sand, create one of the most soothing natural sounds on Earth. This rhythm has comforted humans for as long as land has met sea. Earth's mountains rise not with forceful explosions of motion, but through slow uplift rocks pushed upward inch by inch, year by year, until they form towering peaks. These ancient structures hold stories older than civilizations, shaped by pressure, erosion, and time. Their presence is steady and patient, offering a sense of permanence and strength. Sitting at the foot of a mountain can feel like resting beside an old friend, solid, unmoving, and quiet. The seasons on Earth unfold with gentle transitions that guide the world through cycles of light and growth. Spring brings soft greens, summer brings warm light, autumn brings gentle color, and winter wraps the world in a calm hush. These changes do not arrive abruptly. They blend into one another with a balance that feels natural and calming. Each season carries its own quiet beauty, revealing the earth as a world that shifts, breathes, and renews itself in rhythms meant to comfort as much as inspire. The rivers that wind across Earth follow paths shaped not by haste, but by time and patience. A river moves with a rhythm that reflects everything around it. Rain falling upstream, snow melting in distant mountains, quiet springs feeding it drop by drop. As it flows, it smooths stones, carves gentle curves in the landscape, and creates soft banks lined with grasses and trees. Even the places where water rushes are part of a much larger calm, for every rapid eventually widens into stillness. Watching a river travel on its unhurried journey can soothe the mind, reminding you that motion can be gentle, steady, and endlessly peaceful. Earth's clouds form through the quiet meeting of warmth and coolness, a slow rising of moisture that gathers into shapes drifting across the sky. Their movement is softened by the wind, spreading and stretching like slow breaths. Some clouds rise into towering forms that glow in sunlight, while others flatten into thin veils that cover the sky like silk. Each shape lasts only a moment in the planet's long timeline, yet each carries a gentle beauty. Their constant formation and dissolution mirrors the mind's own flow thoughts appearing, stretching, softening, and eventually drifting away. Beneath your feet lies an entire hidden world of soil, a living layer that supports forests, fields, and every plant on Earth. This soil forms slowly as rocks are weathered by rain and roots, turning stone into fine, soft earth over thousands of years. Within this soil, countless tiny organisms weave nutrients through delicate networks, working silently to sustain the growth of trees and grasses. This unseen ecosystem works in gentle cycles, breaking down the old, nourishing the new, and maintaining life without ever rushing. It is a quiet reminder that even the smallest, hidden processes can shape the world. Earth's atmosphere transitions seamlessly from the air we breathe to the thin, delicate edge of space. As you move upward, the pressure softens, the temperature changes, and the air grows clearer, until daylight becomes deeper and stars begin to appear. This gradient, smooth and continuous, wraps the planet in an elegant blend of protection and openness. It lets sunlight scatter into soft colors at sunrise and sunset, and allows night to settle over the world like a closing curtain. This gentle layering makes Earth feel enveloped, sheltered, and calm. Deep forests breathe with a rhythm that is as ancient as the planet itself. During the day, trees release oxygen, filling the air with a freshness that feels almost tangible. At night, they shift, storing energy and preparing for another cycle of growth. Leaves flutter, like quiet whispers, branches sway in slow arcs, and light filters gently through the canopy in patterns that shift with every hour. Being inside a forest feels like stepping into a slower world, one shaped by cycles so calm and patient that your own heartbeat seems to soften to match their pace. The tides that rise and fall along Earth's coastlines are guided by the moon's gentle pull. This gravitational embrace stretches the oceans just enough to create a steady rhythm, bringing water higher and then letting it retreat again. This cycle is so consistent that it has shaped the behavior of animals for millions of years, guiding migration, feeding, and nesting patterns. Watching the tide come in and move out again is like observing the planet. Breathe a slow, steady inhale and exhale that never breaks its rhythm. In the silence of snow-covered landscapes, sound becomes softened as crystals of ice absorb noise. Footsteps sink into powder with a muted hush. Wind moves through branches with softened tones, and even distant sounds become quiet and diffuse. This natural quieting effect creates a world that feels suspended in stillness, as though time has slowed. Snow blankets Earth, not only in white, but in calm, wrapping entire regions in a gentle quiet that invites rest and reflection. Earth's coral reefs may appear vibrant and busy, but beneath the surface, their growth is incredibly slow and delicate. Tiny organisms build the reef grain by grain, forming vast underwater structures over centuries. Waves passing overhead send ribbons of sunlight through the water, creating soft patterns that move across the coral in slow, shimmering waves. The reef becomes a dreamlike world of motion and color, unfolding in rhythms too gentle to feel rushed, too patient to ever seem hurried. The air that flows across Earth is shaped by temperature, sunlight, and terrain, creating winds that can be powerful, yet are often gentle. A breeze moving through a valley carries coolness from shaded rock faces, while warm winds rising from sunlit plains drift upward with softness. Even strong winds follow patterns shaped by the turning of the Earth, part of a larger flow that connects continents and oceans. These movements remind you that change can be as gentle as the air brushing against your skin. Earth's rotation creates a subtle force that influences the movement of oceans and atmosphere, guiding them into slow spirals that shape weather patterns. These spirals appear in storms, in currents, and even in the long drifts of clouds seen from space. Though they represent energy, they also reflect the planet's deep sense of balance, a harmony between motion and stillness that forms the backbone of Earth's natural systems. To imagine these spirals unfolding across the surface of the world is to imagine a planet endlessly turning in quiet, ancient grace. High in the atmosphere, thin streams of air called jet streams circle the planet in smooth, powerful currents. Though they move at great speeds, their motion is steady and continuous, flowing like long rivers of wind that guide storms and shape weather with quiet precision. These invisible pathways drift and shift slowly over time, forming gentle bends and soft curves as they travel around the world. Imagining these streams of air wrapping Earth in elegant ribbons creates a sense of movement that is surprisingly calming, a reminder that even powerful forces can flow with grace. In the far north and south, layers of ancient ice preserve tiny bubbles of air trapped thousands of years ago. These silent bubbles contain traces of Earth's past atmospheres, holding memories of climates long forgotten. The ice forms in delicate sheets, stacking year after year in quiet accumulation, building frozen archives that stretch back in time. The thought that the planet gently stores its own history in cold, crystalline layers gives Earth a feeling of deep wisdom, a slow and quiet awareness of its own story. Earth's grasslands stretch across continents like vast, breathing seas. The grasses sway in waves when the wind moves through them, rising and falling in patterns that resemble the shifting of ocean swells. Each blade bends without resistance, then returns to its place with gentle resilience. This continuous motion, soft, rhythmic, and endlessly repeating, creates landscapes that seem alive with calm. Watching grasslands ripple is like watching the planet exhale, a natural rhythm that soothes the senses. Volcanoes, though sometimes imagined as violent, spend most of their lives in quiet slumber. Beneath their surfaces, heat moves slowly, gathering over centuries or millennia before rising to reshape the land. The slopes of dormant volcanoes are often covered in forests and meadows, places where life grows in peaceful cycles while the mountain rests. Even active volcanic landscapes move through long periods of calm, reminding you that Earth's power is balanced by patience, that even fire and stone understand stillness. Along coastlines, the meeting of land and sea creates gentle patterns that repeat endlessly. Waves spread across the sand in thin, shimmering sheets, then pull back with a soft whisper, carrying grains with them. The rhythm never breaks, even through the changing hours, tides, and seasons. Standing at the edge of the ocean offers a sense of natural balance, a place where movement and rest meet in perfect harmony. This border between land and water feels like a doorway into calm, where the steady pulse of the sea matches the quieting of your breath. Far below, the ocean's surface, lies a world so still that time seems to stretch. In the deep sea, light fades into darkness, temperatures remain stable, and currents move with slow, quiet determination. Creatures glide in the dark with fluid motions, conserving energy and moving gracefully through their environment. The deep ocean's calmness is profound, a place untouched by storms or surface noise. Knowing that such tranquility exists beneath the waves gives the world a sense of depth and peace. Earth's meadows are shaped by cycles of light and water, blooming into color during warm seasons and resting under cooler skies. Each flower opens with the rising sun and closes with night, following a rhythm guided by nothing more than gentle cues from the environment. These cycles repeat year after year in quiet reliability, filling the landscape with soft patterns of growth. The simplicity and consistency of these natural rhythms calm the mind, offering reassurance in their quiet predictability. In the wide Arctic regions, where the air is cold and clear, Earth reveals a stillness rarely seen elsewhere. Snow stretches across the land in smooth blankets, and the horizon appears endless. The air moves slowly, carrying faint sounds over great distances in soft echoes. In this quiet, the world feels open and unhurried, as if time itself has slowed to match the gentle pace of the landscape. The Arctic's serene expanse shows that calm can exist even in the coldest places. The rain cycle on Earth begins with tiny droplets forming high in the sky, gathering into clouds that drift until the temperature gently shifts. When the droplets become heavy enough, they fall in long, silent curtains over mountains, plains, and forests. This cycle repeats endlessly, carrying water from sky to earth and back again, nourishing the planet in soft, continuous patterns. The looping flow of this cycle is soothing a reminder that Earth moves in circles of giving and receiving, always returning to balance. Beneath forests and fields lies an intricate network of roots and fungi working in silence to share water and nutrients. This underground web forms connections between trees, allowing them to support one another in ways that are never seen but always present. These exchanges happen slowly, molecule by molecule, hour by hour, forming an ecosystem of cooperation and calm. Imagining this hidden world, a quiet community beneath the soil, thriving through patience and connection, brings a sense of warmth and comfort. Earth's wetlands, spread across river deltas, marshes, and quiet pools, are some of the most peaceful places on the planet. Water gathers here in slow-moving sheets, gliding softly through reeds and grasses. The air is often still, carrying only the faint ripples of tiny currents or the gentle sounds of distant birds. These ecosystems absorb floods, cradle wildlife, and release moisture into the atmosphere in calm, steady breaths. Walking near a wetland feels like entering a world where every movement is softened and every sound becomes part of a quiet tapestry of life. In the high mountain valleys, where air thins and temperatures cool, the world slows even further. Snow gathers on distant peaks, and streams form from melting ice, trickling down the slopes with delicate persistence. The thin air carries sound differently, creating a hushed quality that makes even the loudest noises seem gentle. These elevated landscapes feel sacred in their stillness, as though the earth is resting closer to the sky. Their calm invites you to breathe deeper, loosening the noise of your thoughts as the world opens around you. Earth's islands emerge from the sea like solitary guardians, shaped by volcanic uplift or coral growth over thousands of years. The winds that brush against their shores often move in slow, circular patterns, carrying the scent of salt, earth, and warm sunlight. An island's shoreline marks a perfect balance between land and water, a meeting place where waves whisper against stone and breezes drift through palm leaves. Even the isolation of islands carries a serene quality, a sense of being tucked away in the planet's gentle embrace. In ancient caverns hidden beneath the earth, stalactites and stalagmites form at a pace nearly impossible to perceive a single droplet of water, depositing minerals over centuries. These formations grow in silence, shaped by time and patience, until entire chambers are adorned with delicate towers and curtains of stone. The air in these caves is cool and still, the darkness soft and complete. Being inside a cavern feels like stepping into the slow heartbeat of the planet, where time stretches into silence, and every shape is formed through quiet persistence. The prairies and savannas that stretch across continents move in vast, gentle waves. Tall grasses sway when the wind passes through, creating rolling motion that can travel for miles. This dance of grass and wind is timeless. The same patterns seen thousands of years ago continue today with the same calm grace. Wildlife moves through these open spaces in slow, careful rhythms, guided by the rising and setting sun. The simplicity of these landscapes, combined with their immense scale, creates a sense of grounding peace. Earth's rain cycles weave subtle paths through the world's climates, connecting mountains, rivers, forests, and oceans in quiet unity. Moisture evaporates from sunlit seas, drifts upward, condenses into clouds, and returns to the land as gentle rain. The process repeats endlessly, never rushed and never forced, sustaining life with a calm certainty. This recycling of water reminds you that nature relies on smooth transitions rather than abrupt shifts, teaching you to move with the same ease in your own internal cycles. The gentle pull of Earth's gravity gives weight to everything without being overwhelming. This invisible force keeps oceans grounded, trees rooted, and you yourself connected to the land. Gravity holds you in place with a steady, consistent presence, not pushing, not restraining, simply supporting. The idea that an unseen force is always there, guiding every step and breath in quiet balance, brings a sense of reassurance. It is the planet's subtle embrace, a reminder that stability can be softened and constant. Earth's shadow, cast into space during lunar eclipses, curves gently across the moon in warm shades of reddish gold. This soft coloring comes from sunlight passing through Earth's atmosphere, filtered into hues that resemble the glow of early morning. Watching this shadow reveal itself is like witnessing the planet paint with light, creating a slow, gentle transformation across the lunar surface. The sight feels ancient and peaceful, reminding you of Earth's place in the larger harmony of celestial cycles. The planet's rotation gradually slows over time, but the change is incredibly subtle, only milliseconds added to each day over centuries. This gentle deceleration is caused by tides and gravitational interactions, all of which occur far below human perception. The idea that Earth's spin is gradually softening, moving toward an even calmer pace, adds a sense of deep tranquility. The planet itself is settling into ever slower rhythms, teaching that growth and change do not always require speed. In the quiet hours before dawn, Earth often feels its most serene. The air cools, the winds still, and the sky transitions through soft gradients of blue and violet as sunlight approaches from beyond the horizon. This slow brightening is one of the planet's most peaceful moments, a gentle promise of light returning. The world feels delicate and balanced, like a breath held just long enough before release. Dawn becomes a reminder of renewal, a signal that each day begins with softness before anything else. Along the world's coastlines, tidal pools form in rocky hollows where the ocean gently settles as the tide retreats. These small pockets of water become quiet worlds of their own, holding tiny fish, drifting algae, and delicate shells that shimmer beneath the soft sway of the surface. Each pool is a moment of stillness carved out of the sea's endless motion, reflecting the sky above with a calm clarity. They exist only for a few hours at a time before the tide returns. Yet their gentle presence reminds you that peace can be temporary and still meaningful, appearing briefly and beautifully within the larger rhythms of nature. Earth's thunderstorms, though powerful in appearance, hold moments of deep serenity within their structure. Above the clouds, where the storm forms its towering peaks, the air becomes surprisingly still, lit by distant flashes that ripple through the sky like silent pulses. Even within the storm, warm rising air and cool falling air move in slow, circular patterns, creating a balance of energy that persists long before a single raindrop reaches the ground. When lightning illuminates the clouds from within, it reveals swirling textures that shift like slow breath, offering a reminder that even the most dramatic displays of nature are shaped by calm, steady processes underneath. The valleys carved by glaciers across Earth were shaped not by sudden force, but by quiet persistence. For thousands of years, thick ice moved inch by inch, smoothing the rock beneath it into graceful curves and broad, U-shaped hollows. When the glaciers eventually melted, they left behind lakes so still they reflect entire mountains, forests, and skies as if painted on glass. Standing beside one of these lakes invites a sense of timelessness, a reminder that beauty can be the result of gradual, almost imperceptible change, sculpted by cold silence and patient motion. Earth's rainforests release water into the air through millions of leaves, creating a mist that rises slowly, like breath exhaled by the land itself. This moisture gathers into clouds that drift above the canopy, only to return later as soft rain that nourishes the forest again. This cycle repeats every day with gentle reliability, creating a natural rhythm that feels like the heartbeat of the planet. Being surrounded by such a cycle, one that gives and receives so seamlessly, brings a sense of harmony, as if everything is moving in a perfectly balanced flow. Lightning bugs and bioluminescent insects flicker in soft patterns across warm nights, creating a gentle glow that drifts through the air like floating stars. Their light pulses in steady rhythms, guiding them through forests and fields with calm, whisper-like signals. This quiet glow has illuminated warm evenings for millions of years, offering Earth a natural, living starlight. Watching these small lights appear and fade feels like witnessing the planet's softest form of magic, simple, delicate, and deeply calming. In high-altitude regions, thin layers of frost form on rocks, grasses, and leaves during cool nights. These frost patterns grow slowly, crystal by crystal, creating delicate shapes that shimmer when touched by early sunlight. The frost melts gently as the day warms, returning to the air without a trace. This nightly cycle is a subtle reminder of Earth's quiet artistry, how it creates beauty, not with force, but with the careful placement of ice along the edges of the world's smallest surfaces. The deep canyons, carved by rivers over millions of years, hold echoes that travel slowly along their walls. When the wind passes through, it creates a soft, resonant hum that seems to linger long after the breeze has moved on. The rock layers, shaped by ancient seas, volcanic flows, and drifting sediments, tell stories written in texture and color. These canyons feel like libraries of stone, places where time has arranged every detail with quiet intention. Their silence invites contemplation, drawing the mind inward as gently as a lullaby. Earth's dunes shift with such delicate motion that entire landscapes can change their shape without a sound. When the wind drifts across a desert, it lifts grains of sand into slow, graceful waves, sculpting ripples and ridges with artistic precision. The dunes grow, recede, and travel over long periods, carrying a sense of movement that is fluid but never rushed. Watching sand move in this soft and steady way can calm even the busiest mind, guiding thoughts into a smoother, quieter rhythm. The geothermal springs scattered across various regions of the planet rise from deep underground, where heat gently warms water over centuries before it emerges at the surface. These springs form pools that steam softly in cool air, filling valleys with a serene mist. Many of these waters flow continuously, renewed by the quiet exchange of heat deep within the earth. Sitting near such a spring, even in imagination, creates a sense of being connected to the planet's inner warmth, a reminder that comfort can come from deep, unseen places. In fields and forests across the world, morning dew gathers on leaves and grass as temperatures cool before sunrise. Each droplet forms slowly, balancing perfectly on the edge of a blade or petal, catching the earliest light in tiny flashes. Dew evaporates again as the sun climbs, leaving the world fresh, clean, and quietly renewed. This gentle appearance and disappearance of water mirrors the soft transitions that define so much of Earth's beauty, subtle, temporary, and full of calm. Across Earth's wide plains, the horizon stretches so far that it seems to merge with the sky in a smooth, unbroken line. This meeting of land and atmosphere creates a sense of deep openness, a quiet spaciousness that can soothe the mind with its simplicity. When gentle winds sweep across these plains, they carry the scent of distant grasses and the faint rustle of movement, weaving subtle patterns through the air. The calm expanse teaches the mind how to breathe more deeply, how to settle into a rhythm as slow and steady as the land itself. In the world's oldest forests, immense trees stand as pillars of time, their trunks thick with centuries of growth. Moss drapes over roots, leaves filter sunlight into green-gold patterns, and the air feels cool and still, as though preserved from an earlier age. These ancient groves have witnessed countless cycles of seasons, yet they remain quiet and steady, offering shelter to countless forms of life. Walking among such trees creates a sense of moving carefully through time, your footsteps softened by layers of fallen leaves, your thoughts quieted by the stillness of their towering presence. Earth's rain shadows regions where mountains gently block clouds, and moisture show how subtle shifts in landscape shape the climate with calm precision. As moist air rises along one side of a mountain, it cools and releases rainfall, leaving the other side dry and warm. This simple interaction creates dramatically different environments within short distance. Yet the process itself unfolds gradually and gracefully. It is a peaceful dance between air, temperature, and terrain, a reminder that change can occur through small, gentle redirections rather than abrupt forces. The world's deltas form where rivers meet the sea, carrying silt and minerals from inland valleys to the coast. Over long periods, These materials settle into branching pathways, creating lush wetlands shaped by slow water movement. Deltas offer some of the richest habitats on Earth, yet their formation relies entirely on soft, repeated flows of water, dropping their burdens grain by grain. The result is a landscape created not by power, but by patience, where the land grows outward into the sea with quiet determination. High-altitude cloud layers sometimes form delicate halos and rings around the sun or moon, created by tiny ice crystals drifting through cold air. These crystals bend light gently, scattering it into soft circles that shimmer faintly against the sky. The phenomenon feels ethereal, like a whisper of color woven into the atmosphere. These halos appear without sound and disappear without a trace, offering the world a moment of unexpected beauty before blending back into the rhythm of the sky. Earth's great rivers carry stories from thousands of miles upstream, moving through valleys, deserts, forests, and plains in long, patient routes. As they travel, they gather minerals, memories, and echoes of landscapes far beyond the horizon. Their waters flow around bends shaped by centuries, slipping into quiet pools and gliding over smooth stones. Each river eventually meets the sea, where fresh water blends with salt in a gentle mingling. This journey mirrors the movement of life, always flowing, always returning, always connected. Gentle breezes that drift through canopies of leaves create patterns of moving light called dappled sunlight. As branches sway, sunlight flickers across the ground in soft, shifting shapes. This quiet interplay between light and shadow creates a natural rhythm that soothes the senses, echoing the calm of waves or the slow drift of clouds. The forest becomes a living tapestry of glowing motion, guiding your eyes into relaxed wandering that eases the mind into a peaceful state. Earth's quiet tundra regions, blanketed by mosses and low-growing plants, hold a stillness unlike any other landscape. The ground remains cool, the air crisp, and the wind moves gently across open stretches where few tall plants grow. In the long hours of summer light, the tundra glows softly with flowers and lichens, while winter brings a hush that makes the world feel frozen in a moment of calm. The simplicity of this environment, open, quiet, and unhurried, allows thoughts to settle into their softest form. In the hidden depths of Earth's caves, underground rivers echo faintly along stone corridors. These echoes bounce gently across smooth walls, carved by centuries of flowing water, creating soft, distant notes that linger like whispers. The air is cool, the darkness complete, and the only constant movement is the slow drip of water, shaping new formations, drop by drop. The cave environment carries a tranquility so deep that time feels suspended, making it one of the quietest natural spaces on Earth. Earth's twilight, the brief time between day and night, wraps the world in soft colors that blend sky and land into peaceful harmony. During these moments, shadows lengthen, the air cools, and the sky shifts through pastel tones that calm the senses. Twilight softens the edges of the world, bringing a transition so gentle that you barely notice the light fading until the stars begin to appear. It is one of Earth's most soothing gifts, a reminder that endings can arrive quietly, wrapped in beauty. Forests near coastlines often hold a unique kind of calm, where the air carries both the scent of salt and the sweetness of leaves. When the wind moves through these trees, it gathers the quietness of the forest and the softness of the sea, blending them into a gentle breath that drifts across the landscape. These coastal woodlands feel like borderlands between worlds, places where land, water, and sky exchange their gentlest qualities. Walking among them brings a sense of harmony, as if the entire environment is whispering with the same peaceful rhythm. In the world's underground aquifers, water moves slowly through porous rock, weaving through hidden pathways carved over thousands of years. This water travels in near absolute silence, untouched by light or weather. It gathers minerals, cools to stable temperatures, and rests for centuries before rising to the surface again as springs or wells. The idea that water can spend so long in quiet darkness, holding its clarity and calm, creates a sense of peaceful patience, a reminder that life often moves in unseen, steady ways. The gentle arc of a rainbow appears when sunlight meets raindrops in perfect alignment, breaking into soft bands of color that curve across the sky. Though the colors look vivid, their presence feels delicate, as if they could dissolve with a breath. Rainbows last only moments, yet their sudden arrival fills the world with a quiet sense of wonder. Their curve mirrors the shape of Earth itself, reminding you of the planet's roundness and the hours of light that sweep across it in smooth transitions. Earth's valleys, carved by ancient rivers or shifting tectonic plates, cradle landscapes in their wide, calm arms. Floors of valleys often hold fertile soil, gentle streams, and pockets of cool air that settle as the sun lowers. These sheltered regions offer a protected feeling, as though the land is folding itself around the life it supports. The quiet in valleys feels deeper, the shadows softer, and the air more still, creating natural sanctuaries that soothe both body and mind. Above the ocean, thin layers of mist hover over the water during early mornings, created when warm air meets the cool surface of the sea. This mist drifts in slow, silvery sheets, softening the boundary between water and sky. Boats, birds, and distant waves fade into gentle silhouettes. The world becomes muted, calm, and almost dreamlike, as if wrapped in a soft veil. This morning, quietness reminds you that Earth greets each day with a moment of stillness before movement begins. In grasslands, dust lifted by soft breezes rises into golden clouds that glow under sunlight. Instead of feeling harsh or dry, these drifting particles create a warm, hazy atmosphere that softens everything it touches. Animals move through this warm light with gentle steps, their silhouettes blending with the land. The dust eventually settles back to the ground in a slow, delicate fall. This subtle dance between earth and sky shows that even the smallest motions of nature carry a quiet beauty. On calm nights, Earth's lakes reflect the stars so clearly that the water becomes a mirror of the sky. The slightest ripple breaks these reflections into shimmering fragments, sending soft waves of starlight drifting across the surface. When the wind is still and the water's unmoving, the sky and the lake seem to merge into a single, infinite space. This meeting of reflection and reality creates a peaceful illusion that the world is doubled in calm. In meadows, after gentle rain, droplets cling to spider silk, forming tiny spheres that sparkle like beads of glass. These delicate webs bend under the weight of the dew, yet do not break, Instead, they stretch and hold the moisture with quiet resilience. As sunlight touches them, the droplets glow with soft brilliance, turning simple threads into tiny constellations of light. The beauty of these moments lies in their fragility, nature showing its finest details in silence. The smooth stones found in riverbeds have been shaped by countless years of flowing water, polished grain by grain, until their surfaces feel silky to the touch. Each stone has traveled far, carried by currents that moved it gently but consistently. The stone's rounded shapes tell stories of time, not dramatic or sudden, but patient and unhurried. Holding such a stone feels like holding a piece of Earth's calmest memories. Earth's night sky, when free from city lights, reveals a view that connects every place and every era of human history. The stars hang in soft clusters, forming patterns that have guided travelers, inspired stories, and offered comfort for thousands of years. Even though the stars are distant, their light arrives with a steady, unwavering glow, creating a sense of stability and continuity. Looking at the night sky is like listening to the planet breathe slowly, reminding you that you are part of something ancient, vast, and peaceful. In forests after rainfall, the scent that rises from the earth, known as petrichor, drifts softly through the air like a memory. It is created when water awakens tiny organic compounds in soil and stones, releasing them in gentle waves. This aroma signals renewal, calming the mind with its sense of freshness and quiet change. Walking through such a forest feels like stepping into a softened world, where every leaf glistens, every branch rests under beads of moisture, and the air moves with a slow, comforting stillness. Across the savannas of Earth, the evening brings a transformation as warm light stretches across the grasses, creating elongated shadows that sway with the breeze. The sky above transitions through shades of amber and soft violet, settling into darkness with serene patience. Animals move quietly to their resting places, guided by rhythms passed down through generations. The land becomes a canvas of muted colors and gentle motion, embodying a calm that settles over everything like a whispered lullaby from the horizon. High above deserts, mirages shimmer on the hot air, creating the illusion of distant water or floating shapes. These optical effects are formed when warm air near the surface bends light upward, softening edges and blending heat with vision. Though the images are not tangible, the shimmering atmosphere creates a sense of dreamlike beauty. The desert, often seen as harsh, reveals moments of fragile elegance, showing how even the hottest, driest places can hold quiet magic. Earth's gentle rains often form mist that drifts across fields and hillsides, creating layers of softness that blur edges and distance. In this misty world, colors fade into muted tones, sounds become muffled, and the landscape seems to hold its breath. Walking through mist feels like moving through a painting, slow, serene, and timeless. It is one of Earth's most delicate moods, a reminder that clarity does not always come from sharpness, but from calm. The world's underground lava tubes, formed by ancient volcanic flows, create long, smooth tunnels beneath the surface. After lava drains away, what remains is a quiet corridor of stone where time passes almost unnoticed. The air is cool, the light dim, and and the silence deep enough to feel like a physical presence. These tubes were shaped not by violent eruptions, but by calm, steady flows of molten rock, geological breath, forming pathways that now rest in total stillness. In temperate forests, leaves fall in swirling patterns during autumn, drifting with such gentle motion that each one seems to choose its own quiet path to the ground. As they land, they form soft blankets that cushion footsteps and absorb sound. This natural layering transforms the forest into a quieter, more intimate world, where the crunch of leaves underfoot becomes a slow and calming rhythm. Autumn's descent is peaceful, a season of letting go with grace. Earth's waterfalls, even the most powerful ones, have quiet places behind their roaring curtains of water. In these sheltered spaces, droplets drift downward like soft beads of mist, and the light filters through in faint rainbows. The rock behind the falls feels cool and ancient, shaped by water's touch over countless years. Standing near a waterfall reminds you that even the strongest forces shape the world through persistence rather than haste, creating beauty through steady, rhythmic motion. At dusk in mountain ranges, the last rays of sunlight catch the peaks with soft, fleeting brilliance. The mountains glow for a moment before settling into deep blue shadows that stretch across the valleys. The air becomes still, carrying only the faintest trace of warmth from the day. This transition from gold to blue is one of Earth's gentlest daily rituals, a quiet shift that marks the beginning of night with elegance rather than urgency. Deep within coral lagoons, the water stays calm even when the sea outside the reef grows restless. Coral barriers break the waves into soft ripples, creating shallow pools where small fish move slowly through beams of sunlight. The water here is so clear that every grain of sand appears to shimmer. This sheltered world feels like a sanctuary, a place where the ocean pauses to rest before returning to its larger rhythms. The world's grasslands glow under moonlight, each blade of grass catching silvery light that creates a soft sheen across the land. When the wind moves gently, the entire field shifts like a single organism, flowing in waves beneath the night sky. This nocturnal landscape feels both vast and intimate, illuminated not by the brightness of day, but by the quiet glow of the moon. The calm in these moments is profound, offering a deep sense of peace. In the quiet hours just before sunrise, Earth enters a state known as the blue hour, when the sky deepens into soft shades of indigo and sapphire. The world feels suspended in this moment, neither night nor day, neither dark nor bright. Shadows blur, sounds soften, and the air holds a delicate chill that carries a sense of expectation. This gentle transition offers a calm unlike any other, a peaceful pause before the light stretches across the horizon. It is as if the planet is taking one final breath before welcoming a new day. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, enormous kelp forests sway with a rhythm guided entirely by the sea. Their long, ribbon-like fronds drift up and down with the movement of the water, creating the illusion of an underwater forest breathing. Schools of fish glide silently through these green corridors, and the filtered sunlight above paints the water in soft, shifting patterns. This tranquil environment, untouched by the noise of the surface world, feels like Earth's hidden sanctuary, a place where life moves slowly and gracefully. In the heart of quiet grasslands, the sound of wind gently brushing through tall stems creates one of nature's softest melodies. Each blade vibrates subtly, combining with thousands of others to form a whispering chorus that rises and falls with the breeze. This natural symphony has no beginning and no end. It drifts continuously across the land, soothing anyone who pauses long enough to listen. The rhythm of these winds reflects the calm pulse of Earth itself, offering comfort through simple, pure sound. In the high canopies of rainforests, where sunlight filters down in faint golden ribbons, layers of life unfold in slow, intricate formations. Leaves unfurl with careful precision, moss grows in delicate patches, and branches hold quiet communities of insects and birds that move with mindful stillness. The canopy acts like a gentle ceiling above the world, sheltering layers of green life that sway in harmony. The atmosphere here feels almost hushed, as if every sound is cushioned by warm, humid air. It is a reminder that calm doesn't always come from emptiness. Sometimes it is found in abundance, arranged with silent order. Earth's rolling hills form landscapes shaped by centuries of wind and water, their curves smooth and balanced like the rise and fall of resting breath. When morning light spills over their slopes, it creates gradients of soft gold, turning the land into waves of warmth and shadow. These hills invite contemplation, their shapes encouraging the mind to follow their gentle contours. There is something deeply peaceful about a landscape, without sharp angles, only soft transitions, like thoughts slowly drifting from one to another. In quiet estuaries, where rivers meet the sea, fresh and salt water blend in patterns guided by the tide. The water moves in slow spirals, carrying silt and nutrients through wetlands that teem with hidden life. Birds skim the surface, fish weave through reeds, and the landscape shifts subtly with each change in the tide. This merging of waters creates a place that is neither river nor ocean, but a gentle in-between, a reminder that nature often finds harmony in the spaces where boundaries blur. During calm winter nights, frost spreads across windows and branches in intricate designs that resemble delicate feathers or tiny forests of ice. These patterns form when water vapor freezes instantly upon contact with cold surfaces, growing outward in branching structures shaped by temperature, humidity, and the tiniest currents of air. The result is artwork crafted quietly by nature, ephemeral and fragile. When sunlight touches these patterns in the morning, they shimmer briefly before melting, reminding you of beauty that exists only for a moment. In the silence of mountain lakes, reflections become so clear that the boundary between water and sky nearly disappears. Mountains, trees, and clouds appear upside down with perfect clarity, as if the lake offers a second world hidden just beneath the surface. When a fish rises or a breeze brushes the water, the reflection trembles softly, creating gentle ripples that expand outward in slow circles. Watching these ripples fade feels like watching thoughts dissolve into quiet, leaving the mind tranquil and open. Across the tundra, small pools of meltwater form during warmer months, reflecting the sky in perfect stillness. These pools, untouched by wind or movement, become mirrors for drifting clouds and distant mountains. The land surrounding them holds a vast, peaceful quiet, the kind of silence that makes every sound feel meaningful. This environment shaped by cold and light, reminds you that even harsh places can hold softness, and even desolate spaces can glow with gentle beauty. And finally, Earth carries a hum, a faint vibration caused by waves, winds, and the shifting of the crust. This hum is constant, subtle, and always present, even though human ears cannot detect it. It is the planet's natural resonance, a quiet background rhythm that echoes through rock, soil, and sea. Scientists have measured it, but nature has lived with it for ages, a kind of heartbeat beneath everything. Knowing that Earth has its own gentle vibration, steady and enduring, brings a sense of deep comfort, as though the planet itself is always singing a soft, endless lullaby. As our gentle journey across Earth comes to a close, let the quiet rhythm of the world linger in your mind for a moment. You've wandered through forests and oceans, deserts and valleys, mountains, rivers, and skies, moving through landscapes shaped not by haste, but by patience, each one unfolding at its own calm pace. Earth is often described as dynamic, full of storms and shifting plates and changing seasons. But beneath all of that motion lies something quieter, something steady and familiar, a deep, ongoing stillness that holds life in balance. That same quiet is still here, resting softly around you now. Think of the slow breath of the tides, rising and falling in a rhythm older than history. Think of the whisper of wind moving over grasslands, the serene glow of dawn pulling light across the sky, the patient sculpting of stone worn smooth by water. Think of the ancient forests, the drifting clouds, the deep caves where droplets fall in patterns that have continued for thousands of years. All of these motions happen without rush, without force, just the steady unfolding of a planet that knows how to move gently through time. You are part of that rhythm, held inside the same long, quiet breath. Let yourself sink into that feeling, the sense that Earth is never truly still, but never hurried either. Its calm is constant, its balance is enduring. And for a little while tonight, you've aligned your thoughts with that deeper pace, the one beneath the noise of everyday life. If your mind feels softer now, if your body feels a little heavier, that is simply you falling into step with the planet's slower heartbeat. Thank you for drifting across this world with the sleepy scientist tonight. If you found comfort in this quiet journey, feel free to subscribe and return whenever you need a moment of calm, a gentle escape, or a soft reminder of how peaceful science can be. Until next time, may your dreams be deep, your thoughts gentle, and your night filled with the quiet rhythms of the earth itself. Good night.